Because if governments and public offices have to adapt themselves to receive digital payments everywhere in the area, that would be a big step forward.
And that's not how the internet got adopted, right? The internet was adopted by government and military first. So.
Now, if that were me, I would choose Circle over Tether or the bale of hay.
You take that piece of asset, put it in the network, where you can mix two things, the value of the asset and ownership of the asset in a single piece of token.
When these transactions cost, a fraction of a cent, and the throughput is there, as it is with Hedera, new things become commercially possible. And that to me is quite exciting.
They consider the Bitcoin network and token and issuance mechanisms. They consider the Ethereum network token and issuance mechanisms to be
once again said that Ether is a commodity. And so I don't think that Chair Gensler, even as aggressive as he is, wants to declare war on the CFTC.
No, but first of all, Cynthia Lummis, under no circumstances, is on the side of let's control everything. But she's been very clear.
Is to support the development and growth of the Stellar Network and that ecosystem that's built around it. We serve the ecosystem of NGOs, enterprises, small businesses, governments, and solo developers and entrepreneurs that are building on the Stellar Network.
Enjoy the ride, pal.
If you got some baggies, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more. Moon o'clock news, no breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra. Bull listeners, shout out to the latest sub. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, smashing them likeys, stuffing them baggies. Go ahead, throw on those moon suits, throw on those pilot shades, and buckle up, because the future's extra. Bullish. Let's go full speed, full throttle into the cryptoverse. We have the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 2.48 trillion, down about 1.2% in the past 24. We got XRP in that number 8 spot, right around 52 cents. Stellar XLM right around 11 cents. BTC 63,779. We got ETH right around 31 hundo. We got Flare Networks right around 3 cents. Axelar $1.07. XDC right beneath 4 cents. Songbird right around a penny. We got Stronghold 007. We got Zahal right around 14 cents. Evernote 35 cents. We got high vibe assets to pop things off. This is the end of the Ripple versus SEC case. The SEC is officially cooked. XRP 33. Understanding of XRP is that not only does it have currency value, but it also has a utility, and that utility distinguishes it from Bitcoin, Ether, BTC who, ETH who. We got subject views. Governments are embracing Ripple like the early days of the internet. Boom.
The introduction of a digital means of payment would be a way to facilitate, to promote the adoption of technology, not only in the financial sector, not only in the household sector, but also in the government sector. Because if governments and public offices have to adapt themselves to receive digital payments everywhere in the area, that would be a big step forward.
Most of the people were technical enthusiasts. They were very interested in the technological end, and they weren't as savvy about how to drive adoption. The only strategy that anyone could think of was a grassroots strategy. And that's not how the internet got adopted, right? The internet was adopted by government and military first. So it's a possible adoption strategy, but it's not the only one.
The introduction.
First, we had the internet of information. Now welcome, the internet of value, running on the XRP ledger. We got XRP drop Senator Cynthia Lummis. If that were me, I would choose Circle over Tether. If Tether chooses to remain offshore, it happens with a different regulator.
So Tether, if it chooses to remain offshore, is happier with a different regulator. That's a business choice for them. But if they want the U.S. good housekeeping stamp of approval on their product, and we hope they will, that they'll come into compliance in the U.S. We would certainly expect Circle to. So let's say you're a U.S. consumer. You don't know much about Circle or Tether or a bale of hay, but you want something that is blessed by a U.S. regulatory mechanism that was designed to protect consumers. Now, if that were me, I would choose Circle over Tether or the bale of hay. I mean, one of the reasons I never would have touched FTX with a 10-foot pole is it wasn't based in the U.S.
We got Stephanie Starr. Judge Ned Byrne is making the SEC work over the weekend to file the reply by Monday, and Ripple needs to file the response by May 3rd. We got the Moon Party May 3rd. Regarding this motion to strike the expert witness that the SEC tried to sneak in there at the last minute, the SEC also has until May 6th to file the response regarding their final brief in connection with remedies. They got a tight deadline, y'all, and you know she's going to have that expert witness removed. LOL. James K. Fallon. Judge Ned Byrne has entered a schedule ordering regarding Ripple's motion to strike a new expert materials the SEC submitted in support of its motions of remedies and entry of final judgment. The last mile. Know what you hold. We got one from Smoke Dog IMF tokenization panel discussing banks and financial institutions currently tokenizing their assets on the blockchain. The switch is already happening.
And what you're doing is we're putting together a process framework, a governance framework for banks to tokenize their asset on this network. For example, you can tokenize from money market fund to bonds, to equities, to deposits, and put that representation on the network and allow it to move between two parties. Today in Singapore, almost close to a dozen banks are already productionalizing their asset on the network. Standard Chartered Bank just announced, I think a few months back, they're tokenizing their trade receivables. UBS is tokenizing their money market fund. JPM is tokenizing their deposits. So you can see that switch is happening already. And from a market efficiency perspective, you are dramatically reducing the operational processes out of the system. So we feel that without going into the complex definition of what token is from a legal standpoint or from an academic standpoint, I look at it as pure tech delight, complete tech delight. You take that piece of asset, put it in the network where you can mix two things, the value of the asset and ownership of the asset into a single piece of token. And if I can get the network governed properly, you can move the asset among ourselves without the need for people to reconcile between databases. That's what is happening in Singapore.
And so you see this as potentially transformative.
Flip that switch. We got subject views. We're about to see stablecoin legislation come to full effect, and Hedera already has a stablecoin studio toolkit ready to go for financial institutions and banks like Shinhan Bank to issue their own stablecoin. Shinhan Bank was the first bank to establish in Korea with around 1,000 locations in 20 countries, top 10 DLT projects. Now loading.
When these transactions cost, a fraction of a cent, and the throughput is there, as it is with Hedera, new things become commercially possible. And that to me is quite exciting. The Hedera ecosystem also launched the Stablecoin Studio, which is a open source toolkit for financial institutions to easily issue stable value assets. So other stable coins, other fiat denominations, stables based off of commodities and things of that nature. Shinhan Bank used the Stablecoin Studio for their recent stablecoin issuance and on-chain foreign exchange swap, which I believe occurred in Taiwan.
Eleanor Tarrant, this aged like milk. In 2019, Consensus founder Ethereum Joseph said that they're big friends and fans of the SEC Gov, explaining that the agency views on Bitcoin and Ether as decentralized and that's no transactions involving those particular assets.
Obvious transgressions of securities law, but they haven't had a heavy touch, really. They've been gathering information. They've been taking some actions. They've been very clear that they understand there is this new construct, this protocol-based open platform.
So you think they get it?
Yeah, we believe they get it. They've introduced a new construct, decentralization, into their thinking. So in addition to the Howey test, they have this new construct that they're seeing certain things in. So they consider the Bitcoin network and token and issuance mechanisms. They consider the Ethereum network token and issuance mechanisms to be decentralized, and therefore no transactions involving those particular assets are considered to be transactions of securities.
Get those jumpsuits. Get those gel cells ready. We got Edo Farina breaking. WEF released a new report on CBDCs modernizing financial markets will wholesale central bank digital currencies. Among the contributors are Jay Wallace of Ripple Central Bank Engagement, CBDCs, and Paul Wong from Stellar, XRP. XLM. Know what you hold, know what's coming, and know why. They want you out. XRP drops SEC, CFTC. I don't think that Gary Gensler, even as aggressive as he is, wants to declare war on the CFTC.
It's really important to recognize that we're in the middle of an election year, and people are looking at the Biden administration as a whole very carefully to decide whether they want to support President Biden in his re-election campaign or whether they don't. And one thing they're looking at is the coherence of the administrative apparatus in the Biden administration. And for the SEC to deny the spot Ether ETF on the theory that Ether is an unregistered security would essentially be like declaring open civil war within the administration on the CFTC. There is no way fundamentally to square the SEC saying that Ether is an unregistered security with the CFTC saying it is a commodity, a non-security that justifies the rise of a futures market, which is a decision that they've made. And really importantly, Chair Benham at the CFTC has not backed down from his view that Ether is a commodity. Just recently, the CFTC in briefing in one of their enforcement actions once again said that Ether is a commodity. And so I don't think that Chair Gensler, even as aggressive as he is, wants to declare war on the CFTC and turn this sort of cold turf war into an open, hostile, hot war.
Drain the swamp. Free the standard. We got DAI, Tether conspiracy theory, digital asset investor.
I think the easiest way for them to do it is to work with a stablecoin provider. So expect Circle to be dragooned into the dark side. And ultimately, whether Tether is allowed in the U.S. is going to be dependent. Forget all the political posturing. Are they willing to have that reporting work? That's my conspiracy theory. Because it all.
If you look at Lotus Gillibrand, Tether would be immediately excluded for not having a banking license in the United States. I'm not saying that will pass, but yeah.
No, but first of all, Cynthia Lummis, under no circumstances, is on the side of let's control everything. But she's been very clear about let's control fiat. Terrorism stuff. She said it before. So, they're probably looking at it saying, well, we can't control Tether, so give up. But remember, in a negotiation, you don't go to your best and final first time. Sometimes you do, but very, very rare. So don't expect it. It's the first salvo. Anyway, my conspiracy theory for what it's worth is that the end state that is wanted by the smarter people in the room, and I'm not talking about, I don't want to start defaming members of Congress, other than Elizabeth Warren, who she wants to have nothing to do with this because she's one of those I want to control everything people. But I don't think that's a majority on either party. Certainly not Republicans. Even in the Democrats, I don't think that's a majority. So I think that the line that they're going to go to is as soon as you exchange for fiat or fiat equivalent. At that point, and I think that we could live with that as an industry one way or another. That's, I think, where it's going to go. If it goes further than that, it's a disaster. And if it goes better than that, it's a huge win.
Shout out to BPM Mission. BPM, we're not slowing down. We continue to build every single day. The roadmap is still long and ambitious, but every day we get one step closer to revolutionizing the live event industry. Don't sleep on BPM, running on the XRP ledger. 2 ticks official today published. The second app specifically for event organizers. We call it Venue. Venue is our ticket scan in a live event management app. Shout out to BPM for hosting our ticketing this year using 2 ticks. The new Venue app is now live. Moon Party 3rd edition, 1 week away next Friday, May 3rd, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. We also got the Cinco de Mayo pool party, May 5th, 3 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Get your tickets now, all happening down in XRP Las Vegas 2024. We got Danielle Dixon, Franklin Templeton continues to innovate, and they're doing it on Stellar, XLM, 801 XRP. Danielle Dixon, CEO, Stablecoin Impact and Everyday Financial Services. Stellar is a decentralized, fast, scalable, and uniquely sustainable blockchain built for financial products and services. It was designed to move value like an email.
It offers builders smart contract functionality and a protocol optimized for payments with a design that's intended to keep fees low and to provide transaction speeds that can scale with increased adoption. It was designed for fiat-backed assets like stablecoins, and it was something that we were doing way back in 2014 before that was even a word that existed. Because the network was built with the idea in mind to make money move like email. And tokenization of secure, stable assets have always been at the center of that design. And our role at the SDF, we're a nonprofit organization, is to support the development and growth of the Stellar network and that ecosystem that's built around it. We serve the ecosystem of NGOs, enterprises, small businesses, governments, and solo developers and entrepreneurs that are building on the Stellar network. We do that by offering tooling, funding, and through strategic collaborations, all in an effort to drive toward our mission of creating equitable access to the global financial system through using blockchain technology. We like to say Stellar is where blockchain meets the real world, because we believe achieving our mission requires a focus on utility and a focus on improving daily life. Stellar's design and optimizations are focused on what drives that kind of utility. Low fees are a fraction of a cent per transaction for developers, fast transaction time, ledger close in 5 seconds, sustainable, the consensus mechanism is low energy, requiring annually the same amount of energy as a few dozen homes in the United States. And importantly for this conversation, asset issuance. Every type of asset, from fiat currencies, securities, CBDCs, and more, can be digitally represented on Stellar in just 4 simple steps. With Stellar's built-in compliance features, asset issuers can easily tokenize assets with adaptable functions designed for any organization's specific needs and standards. Assets tokenized on Stellar benefit from real-time payments, nearly instant transaction confirmations, settlements with finality, and globally accessible on and off ramps and wallet partners. This is what has allowed the Stellar ecosystem to deliver some incredible products that are in market today using stablecoins.
If you're holding some of those XRP bags, I hope you got some of those XLM bags. Stellar, XLM. We got CoinsKit. I can't remember the last time I used Bitcoin for a transaction. I do, however, use XRP as it's quick and costs next to nothing to use. This does not make me an XRP maxi. It just means I'm using the tech that's better to use for the function I need. Bitcoin is digital gold. I get XRP is swift and costs jack to use. Know what you hold. We got L Crypto altcoins predicted the entire move over the last few months. Anyone who has followed me long enough knows that we're not at the end here. This is just a reaccumulation before it goes higher, in my opinion. By the way, I'm a big fan of the descending, broadening wedges. And with that being said, so it begins. We'll see you at the tippy top. Let a friend know that the greatest opportunity of multiple lifetimes is still at hand. But the train's left the station. Tick tock, tick tock. Know what you hold, know what's coming, and know why the SEC wants your baggies back. Where will those bags be when that regulation jar molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? Big bags. Later glitches.
In the heartbeat of Las Vegas, where the neon lights meet the starry skies, a new rhythm is pulsing. On the 3rd of May, 2024, the city that never sleeps becomes the epicenter of a revolution. The 3rd edition of a hip-hop concert like none other, Moon Party 2024, is preparing to ascend the stage during the same week as the largest XRP conference in the world, XRP Las Vegas, with electrifying performances by XRP bags.
We are not done, just having some fun. Just getting started, the flip of the switch, and you thought you could short it. Burning the escrow, now there's been a shortage. So many digits, now you can't afford it.